Joined by Joseph Bahout, he's director of the American University of Beirut's Institute for Public and International Affairs. Joseph, thanks very much for speaking to us today. You heard Blinken's comments then. There's been a gradual increase of tensions at the border. How is that playing out where you are?
Actually, the tension between Lebanon and Hezbollah at the border is going on since day one from the Gaza attack from 7 October. It is gradually increasing, but I could say with quite confidence that it's still within the rules of engagement that are actually installed between Lebanon and Hezbollah for now more than 1 decade and a half. So we are still within the limit that is acceptable by both parties. It's an exchange of fires, of shellings, mostly on empty territory. Sometimes it is causing, of course, collateral damage humanly, but both Hezbollah and Israel are still accepting and considering that that is acceptable. The big question will be once and if the territorial attack of Israel on Gaza, probably in the next 48 hours, will start. If this will trigger maybe a stronger reaction by Hezbollah on the north, and this will trigger probably a spiral of escalation between Lebanon and Israel. This will be predicated on, of course, operational considerations, but also on strategic considerations, meaning that this supposes that Iran, that is, of course, Hezbollah's, let's say, partners, if not patron, will want to open another front in order to probably alleviate the front.
Yeah, I mean, you touched there on this possible ground invasion. Just to say, the Israeli military, I should say, has spoken about increasing strikes on Gaza starting this Saturday. A global escalation is, of course, a question that everybody is asking at this stage. We know that Hezbollah is strong militarily, politically weak. How much is the situation in Lebanon, the economic situation that the country is facing, how much is that kind of halting Hezbollah's implication?
I think this is one of the main crucial questions that is a factor of deterrence today for an all-out war between Lebanon and Hezbollah. The situation in Lebanon is catastrophic on the economic front. The country is completely in shambles. Politically, there's a sort of institutional crisis and a political vacuum. The prime minister that you mentioned, whom Secretary Blinken called tonight, is a caretaking prime minister. He doesn't have any institutional and political real power. So Hezbollah knows very well that really putting Lebanon in the fire, in the high fire, let's say in the high level fire, would be completely destructive for a country that is already very much destroyed and eroded. This would bring a very high political cost for Hezbollah, and I think that they would prefer to avoid it. For Israel also, the deterrence is strong. As you said, Hezbollah is today a much stronger political and military, let's say, animal or entity than it was in 2006. A war with Hezbollah for Israel would be a really destructive, very complicated, very risky war. I don't see Israel today able to do a war on two fronts, in Gaza and on the north of Israel with Lebanon. So this is another deterrent. The third deterrent, as I said, is that probably Iran is not feeling so far the need to escalate regionally, because an escalation regionally will definitely not stop at Gaza or Lebanon. It will entail Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and other parts also. The Americans also don't want to escalate. A few days ago, if you've noticed, Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor, said that neither the US nor Israel are really seeking a global and regional escalation.
All right, Joseph, bringing us some analysis there on tensions at the Israel-Hezbollah border and, of course, the wider geopolitical question. Thanks very much for speaking to us from Beirut, Joseph. Thank you.